The national flag of Zimbabwe consists of 7 even horizontal stripes of green, gold, red and black with a white triangle containing a red 5-point star with a Zimbabwe bird. The present design was adopted on April 18, 1980, when Zimbabwe was granted independence by the United Kingdom. The soapstone bird featured on the flag represents a statuette of a bird found at the ruins of Great Zimbabwe. The bird symbolizes the history of Zimbabwe. The red star beneath it symbolizes Marxism, and the revolutionary struggle for freedom and peace. It is similar to the flag of Zimbabwe's ruling party, Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front. History. The country now known as Zimbabwe was formerly known as Southern Rhodesia from 1895 to 1980. The name Rhodesia was locally used from 1964 to June 1979, and Zimbabwe Rhodesia was thereafter in use until December 1979. Southern Rhodesia achieved responsible government in 1923, and thereby became a self-governing colony of Britain following 3 decades of rule by the British South Africa Company. It concurrently adopted its first flag, following standard British colonial practice. It was a blue ensign, defaced with a shield from the Southern Rhodesian coat of arms. This basic design remained until 1968, although a light blue ensign was introduced in April in 1964. On November 11, 1968, 3 years after the mostly white government unilaterally declared independence from Britain, a national flag based on a completely new design was adopted. This was a green-white-green vertical triband, charged centrally with the national coat of arms. This was the first national flag to contain the Zimbabwe bird, which had been present in the coat of arms since 1924. In 1979, when the country reconstituted itself as Zimbabwe Rhodesia following the internal settlement between the government and moderate black nationalists, a new flag was adopted to mark the transition. The flag of Zimbabwe Rhodesia was designed by Flight Lieutenant Cedric Herbert of the Rhodesian Air Force and a member of the Rhodesian Heraldry and Genealogy Society. The design incorporated the Pan-African colors of yellow, black, green and red. The black stripes symbolized majority rule in the country and the red stood for the struggle to achieve this. The yellow and green respectively represented the nation's mineral wealth and its agricultural and natural resources. The thin vertical white stripe represented the white minority while the central horizontal white stripe represented peace. This flag was superseded in December 1979, when Britain took interim control of the country following the Lancaster House Agreement, which ended the Rhodesian Bush War. The British Union Jack was used as the official flag of the country while fresh elections were held in early 1980, and at midnight between 17th and 18th April 1980, the country was granted independence by Britain under the name Zimbabwe. A new flag was concurrently adopted, the draft for which was handed to Minister of Public Works Richard Hove by an unspecified designer. It initially did not have the Zimbabwe bird included in it. Cedric Herbert added it in later on. The final draft went through the approval of the then Prime Minister-elect Robert Mugabe. The adoption of the new flag coincided with the swearing-in of Canon Banana as the country's new president. The Zimbabwe bird, used on every flag since 1968, is based on a bird statue discovered from the ancient ruined city of Great Zimbabwe in the country's southeast. Gallery of past flags Display and use. Flag etiquette There are certain guidelines for the use, display and disposal of the national flag of Zimbabwe. The flag should never be allowed to come into contact with the ground. Should the flag reach a stage where it is no longer deemed worthy of the public eye, such as when it is torn and tattered, it should be destroyed in a dignified way with all due care and respect. After which, the disposed flag should have a new one in its place. According to Patrick Chinemisa, Zimbabwean Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, any company in Zimbabwe can manufacture the national flag, so long as it does not imprint on it anything that should not be on the national flag, and the flag can be displayed anywhere deemed fit by the people. Display on uniforms Some police officers in Zimbabwe have the national flag displayed on their uniform sleeve tops. Design Colors and symbolism The national flag of Zimbabwe is made up of 5 different colors: green, gold, red, black and white. Officially, the colors of the flag of Zimbabwe carry political, regional, and cultural meanings. Green represents the agriculture and rural areas of Zimbabwe. Yellow stands for the wealth of minerals in the country, predominantly gold. The red symbolizes the blood shed during the First and Second Chimurenga in the struggle for independence. The black indicates the heritage, ethnicity and community of the native Africans of Zimbabwe. The white triangle is a symbol for peace. The golden bird, known as the Great Zimbabwe Bird, is the national symbol of Zimbabwe. A representation of most likely the Bateleur eagle or the African fish eagle, it exemplifies the strong bond that ancestral humans had with animals, nature and spirit guides, and it is treated with a high level of importance and respect. The red star represents the nation's hopes and aspirations for the future. Specifications the Great Zimbabwe Bird should be 40 units both high and low. The red star is not regular. The black bar is 3 units wide. The white triangle is isosceles, with a base and height of some 84 units. Similarities The colors used on the flag of Zimbabwe are closely shared with that of the Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Fronts. This is viewed as a sign of humble submission and respect towards the party. In popular culture, on August 7, 1980, Samora Machel once made a prominent speech involving the national flag of Zimbabwe, in which he said while holding the flag, "This flag covers everyone. There are no blacks in Zimbabwe, there are no whites, there are no mulattoes and Indians, today there are just Zimbabweans." In Harare, Zimbabwe, every other car has one to many miniature national flags plastered onto it. Sales of the national flag are sky high in the country and this helps to curb inflation rates. According to Petin Agapa of The Guardian, the flag is a reminder that the nation was born of pain. It is a breach of Zimbabwean law to sell products bearing the colors of the national flag of the country. See also: List of Zimbabwean flags, List of Rhodesian flags. References. External links.